Off-spinner Adam Riley bagged 4 wickets on the opening day of the LV County Championship match between Kent and Surrey in Canterbury, a day where scoring runs freely was not easy for the visiting batsman. Batting first after winning the toss, Surrey lost their captain Graham Smith in the 7th over with only 3 runs on the board when he was legged before to Doug Bollinger, who delivered a very tight opening spell. He should have followed that up with the wicket of Dominic Sibley, but a good chance to the slips went begging. Turned out to be that kind of day for Kent. That drop at least didn't prove to be an expensive one. When Adam Ball found Sibley's edge, Darren Stevens made no mistake to leave Surrey on 28 for 2 in the 20th over. That became 32 for 3 in the next one as Rory Burns was LBW to Stevens for 12. It was fast becoming Kent's morning. They weren't able to grab any more wickets before lunch, however, as Stephen Davis became the first man to really put bat to ball. It had been tough going thus far, but Davis's stroke play began to ease the pressure on the visitors. He needed to make his start count. Kent weren't making their chances count. Ben Harmison gave Zafar Ansari a life as an edge off Stevens went in at slip and straight back out again. And that allowed Ansari and Davis to really start to rebuild the innings. Surrey have not had the start to this season that they would have wanted, and having chosen to bat first on a nice day for batting in the south-east sunshine, they needed to make the most of things. The run rate at least began to increase as this pair put on 71 runs for the 4th wicket in 21 overs together, Davis making 31 of those. He then gave it away. He didn't fully go through with his shot off Riley, and Harmison this time held on to a skyer in the deep, which left Surrey on 103 for 4. A number of the visiting batsmen made a start like Davis, but didn't go on for as long as they would have liked. Jason Roy gave the innings some impetus as he played brightly from the start of his knock, one which turned out to be the best of the day. The pick of the Kent attack, meanwhile, was Riley, and he grabbed his 2nd wicket, literally, as Ansari, just 2 short of his 50, offered the bowler a return catch at 146 for 5, and Ansari was another who couldn't quite believe what he'd done. Bollinger couldn't believe what the umpire had done here. The Australian was absolutely convinced that he had Roy LBW. It was certainly close. Roy's reaction was to play some shots when he could, something he always does really. When on song, there aren't many better batsmen to watch than Roy, and he played some terrific shots in this knock as he went past the 50 mark for the first time in this campaign. He'd needed 91 balls for this one, and it was an innings which was just keeping the Kent attack at bay for now. He and Aaron Haranath took the total to 193. That's when Surrey lost their 6th wicket. Roy, now on 60, bowled around his legs after missing a sweep shot off Riley. He was another to be disappointed with the mode of his dismissal. Riley continued to cause problems, and he nearly had Surrey debutant Anish Kapil out before he got going. It was a very tough chance at short leg though. Harinath and Kapil were then able to add 47 runs for the 7th wicket in 10 overs. Their partnership coming to an end when Harinath drove Mitch Claydon on the up to Brendan Nash after making 33. It was fitting that the last wicket of the day was taken by Riley, who had Kapil stumped by Sam Billings after the batsman had opened up his Surrey account with a score of 38. His dismissal summed up Surrey's day a little though. Plenty of their batsmen had done the hard work before giving it away, and that meant that Surrey ended the day on 276 for 8, in which Riley has figures of 4 for 77. He will want to get one more of the last 2 wickets before we see how Kent respond with the bat.